Hello and welcome to another episode of the Game and Watch podcast. This is episode number 97, and yeah, it's just we're almost at episode 100. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. If you are watching, thank you for watching. If you're watching us live, thank you for watching us live. If you are listening, thank you for listening. Just a reminder, if you are watching, you could always listen to the show on whatever podcast platform you use. If you are if you are listening, you could always watch us. And then, I'm so rude. I'm your boy, Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool. I'm joined once again by my main man, the F Man Finest Dabs.
Yo,
Our
people.
View Gaming,
Yep,
OVG.
all that.
Yeah. So now that I got all that out of the way, just remember that you can reach us at the Game Watch Podcast at gmail.com. With any questions and comments, we'll read toward the end of the show. If you're watching us live, we will read any comments made in the comments chat, regardless of what platform you're watching on. We'll read them toward the end of the show. Last but not least, we have a Patreon. Definitely subscribe to us on Patreon. Anything donated to the show will make this a better show for all. And I will also be posting a link tree in the show notes. So if you want to follow us wherever you want, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, our Twitch channel, or YouTube channel, all those links will be there. So we do have a link tree now. So link tree looks real nice. I think I showed it to you, right, Finest?
Yep.
Yeah. So I just need to get some like
It's a
colorful
lot of
logos in
links.
there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of links, so they're just trying to condense them for you guys. But and then of course also if you want to subscribe on any platform you want to listen to the show, that will also be in the link tree through either Podlink or Podbean, whatever your choice of platform is. So with all that out of the way, how's it going, man?
It's going well. It's extremely hot in my garage, so if I break out in a profuse sweat, you'll know why, but no one wants to hear about that. Other than that, I am doing well. I'm doing well. I got a lot of gaming in this week, which is very nice.
Yeah,
And
it's always nice.
yeah, then I get another episode to talk about video games with you, and yeah, just yeah, shoot the shit. How about yourself? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I did a lot. I didn't do a lot of gaming this week. I did enough gaming though, and then also got a little new toy right here. I'll show it to you. The stream deck for you audio listeners out there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's a beautiful piece of machinery right there.
yeah. So I mean, I've been doing some gaming. I don't know if you saw any of those test streams I did through our Twitter and Twitch channels, but I was testing some games out. I did Power Wash Simulator one of the nights.
Yep,
And I
that's all that.
also, yeah, and then I also did the uh, Capcom's Arcade Second Stadium. Very great
Nice.
compilation of great retro games. I think Capcom's one of the best in the business that does that. They definitely don't forget about the stuff that they did in the past. Just
You okay
retro.
today? You're tripping over your tongue a lot already. We just
Uh,
started the show.
no, I'm good. Just waking up. Just 10 a.m. in the morning. It's nice
Coffee.
and gloomy outside.
Get it. Get at it. We're gonna
Uh,
pause the show for 15 minutes so we can go grab some coffee. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, he has some agua. There you go. All right.
All right. So speaking of which, what are you playing? What have you been playing?
Ooh, I've been playing this little game with a cat in a post-apocalyptic world, and I lost my family, and I'm trying to get back to it. The game is called Stray. It's a pretty okay game. It's very much like a puzzle platformer in a sense, but you're a cat. You do a lot of cat-like things. You scratch things and you meow at will. Um, yeah, the game. I know we're going to talk about the game later, so I really don't want to go too far in depth right now. But I'm
Hmm.
playing that. In addition to that, I jumped back into Elden Ring this week. I got. I'm very much still in the very beginning of the game.
Oh boy.
Yeah, got my hand my
Your ass beat.
arse. Yeah, my arse handed to me by some gargoyles. Um,
Boy.
and yeah, and I explored the world a little bit more. Still trying to just get a sense of where I want to go. Like I entered a tunnel in the beginning of the game with some wolves in it. The wolves were just chilling. They're like, "Hey, we're just living our best lives." And I was like, "Am I ready for this? Do I want to do this right now?" And I was like, "No." So I turned my butt around and left that cave. Only to go into another cave where the gargoyles kicked my butt, and they were like super quick. Like I don't even know like how I'm gonna fight them with them moving as fast as they were. I am playing. I forget what the exact terminology is, but I'm playing a sorcerer or like a wizard build. And then lastly, I'm playing Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
saw you were playing
last,
that.
yeah, last level of that game. I just gotta finish that up. And yeah, I'm not going for like any trophies or any of the extras.
You're
Like,
just trying to beat the game. You're just trying.
yeah, I'm just trying to beat the game. I'm almost there, and looking forward to doing that, and then jumping into some more games. So, how about you, Ben? What are you playing?
So besides the new Capcom arcade second stadium game and Power Wash Simulator, I also jumped in the Stray a little bit. Only played for about an hour or so.
No.
I will, yeah, we'll discuss that a little later. Another thing you do as that cat a lot though is you run a lot, run away a lot,
Oh yeah, you're a
and
cat.
yeah, I mean, and then otherwise, that's about it. I hadn't really, been playing too much. Just, just testing out my new tech with the Stream Deck, not Steam Deck, but Stream Deck. I think the Steam Deck is next, but we'll have to wait and see. And just checking out, the Comic Con announcements, all that good stuff. We
Yeah.
gotta go to Comic Con one of these days, man. Hopefully, we should
Well,
try.
I used to go every year. Like I went for like 5 years straight, and yeah, it just got more and more expensive every year. But yeah, no, I now that I'm a working old man, I'd love to go
We have the
back.
money for. Yeah, we have the money for it now. I
Yeah,
mean, I know.
I have the money for it. Yeah, and I'm not living off a server budget anymore. Not that servers can't make a lot of money, but at that time I was not making a ton of money. Yeah, so I would love to go back and yeah, experience that all over again. Honestly, Comic Con I think is the best convention out there. Like I don't like there's video game conventions and then there's Comic Con, and there was a point where Comic Con tried to steer away from video games, but video games have just become so ingrained in the
Mhm.
video, like in the culture, like video games, movies,
Yeah.
books, like every comic books, like it's all just so. It's the same audience, it's the same crowd. So
Yeah, it's the
like
same audience. So
yeah, so like video games came back in a big way this year at Comic Con. If haven't been paying attention, but we'll talk
yeah,
about some of that later in the show.
yeah,
So
yeah. So yeah, we have some of the Comic Con announcements. Not all of them, but at least the
yeah,
video game related ones.
maybe we should do a Comic Con episode on like Sunday or Monday.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm down. I mean, we'll see.
Maybe we'll talk about it later.
Maybe, yeah. All right. So let's see. So let's get into anything else I'm missing. Anything I'm forgetting before we get going? No.
No, no, let's
All
talk
right.
about
So,
games.
all right. Yeah. Let's talk about the games. We will pretty much just today's episode is just going to be a bunch of gaming news call outs. So we won't be having a main discussion toward the end of the show. But I mean, for the most part, just gaming news. It's a lot. So just get ready for it. We'll
Yeah,
deep dive right into it. Let's start with our old friends at Nintendo. And looks like they've updated their Switch Online with four games. One of the games I forgot to talk about last week, the N64 game, which we'll get into in a second. But they've put out one game for the NES and two for the Super NES. Yes, I said it, people. I still say Super NES. That knows that I was a kid of the 90s. All right, so the three games that came out on the 21st is Davia 6 or something. I don't even know
oh
the
man, you
title.
got to work on your pronunciation before you
Uh,
jump into an episode.
Deva Story 6 Imperio of Nursarsha. Yeah, I know I butchered that, but I'd never heard of that game, and from some of the gameplay I saw, it didn't look very fun either. I mean, I'm just saying. Um, Data East's Fighters History, which is probably the best game on here, and oh, we'll get into that in a sec. And then Kirby's Avalanche, which is just another Puyo Puyo clone. So, with that being said, Fighter's History, the best game on here, and it sucks because if you look at the gameplay of this game, it pretty much is just a clone of like Street Fighter. I heard Data East actually got sued back in the day because it looked too close, resembled too close to Street Fighter 2, and
I mean,
yeah,
that's the biggest form of flattery. Like, is copy someone else's game. That's the way to do it.
yeah. I mean, I mean, I guess. I mean, yay! Thank you for giving us these games. I don't
I
know what
mean,
Nintendo.
this looks excellent to me. I mean, wow, like this doesn't look like Street Fighter. I mean, of course, yeah, like the graphics do.
Yeah,
But like we had it playing on screen for those audio listeners, but for everyone else, yeah, it looked very much like Street Fighter, like the art style. But I mean, like look at if you look at like King of Fighters 15 right now, and you look at like Street Fighter, or you look at like Samurai Showdown, they're all like 2D games that went semi 3D, and they all have similar looks. Like, but they're not the same game. Like, it's different characters, different stories, different plot lines, and things like that. So,
I mean, Capcom
um,
didn't sue Acclaim back in the day for Mortal Kombat. I mean,
yeah,
why did they sue Data East? I mean, Fighters history. Don't you want to jump into some Fighters history later on the Switch?
yeah. You
Uh,
still have Switch Online, right?
yeah.
When's the last time you jumped into Switch Online?
Um, maybe a few weeks ago, just fool around with some games. But I mean, I haven't done it like lately. I mean, the play needed newer stuff, like the stuff that's been coming out, at least for the NES and Super NES. I can't tell you the last.
Yeah,
It's I mean I mean the retro games are there, people. I mean they have some bangers, and now it's like I don't know what they're doing at Nintendo. I think they just have like a dartboard or something with a bunch of games people have forgotten about or never heard of, and they just throw the dart or like spin the wheel or something. Oh, Kirby's Avalanche. Well, I think I see why they put Kirby's Avalanche on there. 30 years of Kirby, I guess.
yeah.
But it's just another
Kirby. It's the
Puyo
year of
Puyo
Kirby,
game.
like we said last week. It's definitely the year of Kirby for sure.
And then I don't know any of these games, with the exception of Fighter's history. Any of these games impress you, F, in terms on the retro side?
I mean, on the retro side, I mean, look, I'm all down for a retro game. Like I'm totally the type of guy that like will have friends over, and I'm like first person to say like let's hop into a retro game. Um, no, I'm not impressed by this, or do I care for any of these games? No, not particularly. But it's always good to have more selection. So as long as they keep on expanding out that Switch Online, and not like remove games away from that platform, I'm totally down for it. Give people as many options because it came out when it came out. It was extremely sparse.
Yeah,
So would just love for them to keep on expanding that. How about you?
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just happy they haven't gotten rid of any of the games yet, and just I mean, you get what you pay for. It's not very expensive, so I mean, as long as they keep giving us games, because there was a big drop for a while where they was giving us nothing. So
Yeah, and they
it's
keep on
to
saying
be
they're going to
the
make it better. Yeah.
yeah. I'll just say this: it's better than nothing. At
Hmm.
the end of the day, I guess you could say. I know people are just mad. They want Super Mario RPG on there, like because I was looking through some of the Twitter comments, and it didn't look like it was a great reception again. But it's
Yeah.
Nintendo; they don't care. All right, another game that they put out for the N64, a game that I missed last week, was Pokemon Puzzle Master, and
Mm,
this looks a little similar to a game that, at least a game at the end of the Super NES life cycle, Tetris Attack. I forget the Japanese version of the game. I forget that name, but Finest has it up here for all your audio listeners. But yeah, it looks very similar to Tetris Attack if you've ever played that, which is a very good puzzle game, by the way. This is actually pretty interesting.
yeah. I'd be
I would,
interested in this. Like this would
yeah,
make me like I'd be happy to play this for sure.
yeah, I might actually jump into it a little later now that I'm looking at it. Um, I was just, yeah, I'll play this. Just hopefully I can just figure out the buttons on my controller because it's an N64 game. I've yet to dip into the N64 portion of the Switch Online, and I paid
Hmm.
for the for the expansion pack. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've only done NES, SNES, and Genesis. This would be the first N64 game I played, and that's saying a lot. A puzzle
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't a big fan of the console when I had it, or maybe I just want a better controller for it. Retro Fighters, where are you when I need you?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I plan on getting a N64 third party controller. So if I am going to be playing these games, the N64 games, it's a little more comfortable. I just don't have three hands. And that
Yeah,
controller is hard to find anyway, man.
yeah. Still a little difficult, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many games you realistically need it for. And
Yeah,
there's the third party controller. Like if you did get it, you would be getting it for like 2 games. So
yeah. So I'll see. But the third party controller looks nice. We have an open forum one of these episodes. We can definitely talk about some controllers. You know me and my controllers, man.
oh no, that's an episode for you and Mr. Madness. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sit here for an hour and talk about controllers like you guys do in the Discord. These guys,
Oh
like
yeah.
for everyone out there listening, these guys talk about Xbox controllers and retro controllers and all these controllers for hours on end in the Discord. So if that is
8-bit
you,
though, retro bit.
if that is you, if you're that controller person, just reach out to our email or in the chat and let them know so they can put that episode on. I will not be there, but
Yeah, I think gaming does have its niches, and controllers I think is a big niche, at least for me. And I know you can care less, but I
yeah.
love me some controllers, man.
I definitely not. I like games. Instead of buying like 50 controllers, I'd rather buy like 50 games. They're the same
Yeah,
price at this point. So if not more.
yeah. They used to be
Yeah.
cheaper back in the day, but now it's just yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, technology, comes with an upgrade, I guess, comes with a price. All right,
Yeah.
sticking with Nintendo for a bit. Mario Strikers Battle League is getting its first major update. Well, got its first major update. It will be adding two new characters, Daisy and Shy Guy, um, and then also it will be including some new gear as well. Let's see. Um, so with that being said, so if you guys do have the game, that's the first free update. Um, Shy Guy, Daisy, should guys be excited? I mean, personally, the game, in my opinion, is just a PvP game. It's like they need to get like a good like storyline game for it because it is. I don't know. It's just not that fun right now. So they need to
Really?
do more than just. I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
it didn't seem that impressive to me. With it's just a battle mode game, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with that? Like, it's a soccer game. Like, this is FIFA's official competition, right? Or look, no longer FIFA. What I forgot what they were gonna name it. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. But I don't know. I think this game looks like a lot of fun. I'm happy that they're like this. I feel like this is like the quickest Nintendo has come up with an update for a game, like one of their games. Like they usually take so much time updating
Yeah.
games, but like this update came fairly quickly.
Well,
And I'm curious
it's
to
not
see how
doing
they
well.
continue to. Is it? Have you seen sales numbers on this game?
No, I mean, just the reception. I just think it's not doing well. I'm sure sales numbers. I think it's doing fine,
Okay.
but oh yeah. Also, they added a new stadium, Desert Ruin, and then
Hmm.
they have new night theme gear for those of you guys that like to
Yeah, the just
customize your
saw.
player. Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
showed Mario wearing that gear, which I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Do you really want a story in a soccer game? Like
I
we,
don't know. Well, I know. I just feel like the previous Mario Strikers game for the GameCube, there's just more to do. I mean, that's just me, but
mm, was there? I'm trying to remember back, and I remember Mario Strikers. I don't remember there being a lot to do though.
okay, fair enough. I
I
just
don't know.
think maybe just in this new day and age, I personally just expected more from it.
Yeah. So you bought the game?
No, I didn't buy it. I played it. Maybe my brother had it. I didn't play it too much, but I played
Okay.
it a few times during my high school years.
I'm
And
talking about the new one.
the new one. Oh no, no, no. I thought you meant the old
Oh,
GameCube
you
one.
haven't even played it? Oh man, you're just talking out of your keister. Okay, for sure.
All right. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. A game I was looking forward to this year. Then it got pushed back, and then now it's. I think what's on everyone's mind. When is this game coming out? It's finished. We know why it got pushed back, but we didn't think that the situation over there would be going on still as long as it has. But according to a link, it's looking like it's going to be almost a year from the original date it was supposed to come out before we see it. Looks like it was. Looks like the leak revealed February 23rd of next year for the game to be coming out. Hopefully, everything is resolved over where by that point.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't
F&M.
think you have to hide that from people. Yeah, they delayed it because of everything that was going on in Russia, um, and Germany and everything. So
Ukraine.
anyway, yeah, you can. And yeah, just in regards to this game, I mean, I felt like, I mean, I know this article just came out, but I felt like that we already knew it was delayed till next year. I think when they first.
I was hoping for the holidays. I didn't really
Okay.
think that. I thought it was gonna come out like October, November ish. I mean, but it's looking like Nintendo's loaded for the holidays. I mean, maybe they have one more thing up their sleeve,
Yeah.
but I thought it was gonna come out before like December at least. But it's looking like it's gonna be spilling into next year. So I
Okay.
mean, for those of you Advance Wars fans out there, I guess you just gotta be a little more patient. Until then, I guess you can play Into the Breach or just any other strategy game or actually War Group. That's actually a really good one. That can
Yeah.
hold you
War
over.
Groove
If you
is
haven't
yeah.
played, yeah, if you haven't played War Group, definitely check that one out.
Hmm.
That will definitely hold you over until this game finally comes out.
Or
And
there's a
then,
new game that's coming out this week also. That, I mean, where it's being released. It's in the release schedule for the rundown
mhm,
release, but I won't talk about that yet. I'll leave it till later. So
sounds good. So let's see. Last bit of Nintendo news. They do something that's just disappointing everyone. They confirmed the 3DS and Wii U eShop closure dates. So,
mhm.
in let's see, right now we're at the point where you can just add funds to actually not even you can still add funds to your Switch eShop accounts to buy games from the 3DS shop or the Wii U shop, and you can also use eShop cards that you see in like the drugstores or grocery stores or whatnot.
Mhm.
Um, when August 29th comes, it'll be no longer possible to add funds through the individual shops. You'll just have to use the Switch shops and just be sure to anything you want from those shops. You just have to buy through there. But adding funds, you'd have to do through the Switch eShop. And then March 27th of 2023, purchases will no longer be available. And that's when the shops go offline. And yeah, just Nintendo just reminding people. Sounds like they're not changing their minds on this.
Hmm.
And
I mean, just what were the sales numbers around the Wii U again? They were what, like it was like
12,
30
12
million.
million, 12
The 12
million.
million, was it, man, was that low?
Yeah,
Gosh, yeah.
something
So
like
I
that.
mean,
Something.
the fact that they even kept the shop open this long is more credit than I would have given Nintendo in the first place. So yeah, not surprised there. And
Well, the
for
3DS.
yeah, the 3DS is a bit more surprising. Yeah,
Yeah,
that kind of sucks, but
that actually did really well. I mean, throughout its life cycle, not as great as the DS, but just
mm,
I mean, it's a good handheld console. I think it's
yeah,
very good. It's right up there with the Vita. Well, I think it's better than the Vita personally, but
yeah.
just
That goes
it's
my 3DS right there. If you see it next to my Super Nintendo Mini right there, this original 3DS, the
oh you did
OG, the first one.
oh you
Yeah,
did get a 3DS. When did you get a 3DS? I didn't know you had one.
dude, I had a 3DS forever. So see, you don't even know me that well. I thought we were friends. I thought you knew me, but yeah, no, I've had a 3DS forever. I
Yeah, I
just
never had
never.
a Vita for other. Oh man, just yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a lot of games on there. I mean, I think they will be preserved. So the modding community, they always have something up their sleeve in terms of just just trying to preserve these games and mod your classic and everything like that. We actually should do a show, and I've seen some YouTube videos out there. We should do a show where, we go over games that you should try to get before it's offline forever. Maybe,
Yeah, I think didn't we mention those games
or
when
maybe we
we
did.
first
Yeah.
mentioned the closure?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Maybe not all of them, but maybe we can do something a little more in depth or
Okay.
something. Just I mean something like that. Just be a good roundtable discussion if you ask me. So
Yeah, be down
yeah.
for it.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Talking games, that's what you love to do, right? Not
Love
controllers.
love talking games, not controllers. All right.
All right, we're going to talk some more games. We're going to flip the script, go to PlayStation, and we're going to talk about their gaming catalog. They got some more games for the PlayStation Plus. If you have the higher tiers, the premium or the extra, a lot of games available. We'll go through some of these very quickly. Of course, there is Stray, which was a day one third party release for the PS4 and PS5. Um, let's see, they got the Final Fantasy VII remake available, Avengers, and then they have some other games available as well. Assassin's Creed, they have Unity, Flag, Rogue Remastered, Freedom Cry, the Ezio Collection, Saints Row, they got Re-elected and Gat Out of Hell, Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition, Ice Age, Jumanji, the video game, Paw Patrol on a Roll, Ready Set Heroes. All right. And then I guess for the classics, they got Echo Shift, No More Heroes Allowed, and Loco Roco Midnight Carnival. Any of these games
Hmm.
that you think anyone should play? I mean, a lot of bangers on here, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan, like for
Hmm.
sure, like this is the entire, like not the entire, but like a good portion of the Assassin's Creed catalog right there. I myself have just recently jumped into Stray, so there was the cat game right there that I'm playing that I talked about a little bit in the beginning of the show, and we'll be talking more about at the end of the show. If you ever had any interest in the Marvel's Avengers game, it's there for you to try. So yeah, I'm very much well, what am I trying to say? I'm one of those people that's for the PlayStation catalog. I'm currently signed up to the PlayStation, and if I get this wrong, I apologize. Premium, is that the one I'm signed up for?
Yeah, premium. Yeah,
The,
premium.
the,
It
the
goes.
top one?
Yeah, yeah. It goes regular. It goes the regular, extra is the second one, and then premium's the top one.
Oh God, I hate this. Yeah, I hate the
Yeah,
naming convention on that.
it's confusing.
But
Premium's the best.
yeah,
If that.
I think it looks pretty good. I think these games are pretty. I think it's a pretty good selection if you don't already have these games, and I think that's the biggest caveat is like the bangers out of this, like the Final Fantasy Intergrade, all these Assassin's Creed games. I already have them. So most of the games that I have, I'm already interested in. So like, it's kind of tough to recommend in that sense, but at the same respect, it's free games if you don't already have access to them. If you like were ever on the edge of playing any of these games, they're there for you. But yeah, Intergrade for sure. Stray if you're a cat fan. Assassin's Creed for sure. All games that I can definitely recommend. How about yourself? What games are you excited for?
I'm glad that the Saints Row 4 and Gat Out of Hell are on there. Those were some of Saints Row, some of my favorite games. Throughout my lifespan playing video games. So definitely, if you haven't tried that out and you're looking for something different from GTA 5, give it a go. I know Saints Row comes out
Mhm.
next month in August. We'll be talking about that a little later.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Also, in terms of the games, just to give Assassin's Creed a go. Unity
Yeah.
is a good game. Black Flag, great game.
Hmm.
Rogue, I mean, it's all right, but hey, it's there now, so you can play it, and it's the remastered one too, not the one that they made for the PS3 when everyone else got Unity, I believe it was. So definitely you should give those a go. And then the PSP classics, I am not too familiar with those.
Yeah.
If you are, then you can enlighten our audience on those games.
And just real quick, I know we get into comments at the end of the show, but one of our commenters, we all know Autumn. Thank you.
What about
But
them?
she mentioned that Split Second is coming out on Premium, PlayStation Plus Premium. So I love Split Second. That game was like beastly. So what that game was, it was like Burnout, and but the thing is, like, it wasn't necessarily really about crashing. It was about changing the environment or earning triggers to blow up different parts of the environment, and the environment would change and like crash on your opponents, and then your opponents could also trigger the level to crash on you. And that game was a lot of fun, man. So I didn't even realize you said that game, Justin, that was coming out. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, that game was beastly, and honestly one of my favorite racing games. Pretty much like Burnout. Like I love Burnout. So yeah, that game is big for me.
All
Down
right.
to play that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Moving on. Looks like Sony releases The Last of Us Part One trailer, and I think they released it. I guess earlier this week. Some leaked images came out with the combat and everything, and it wasn't looking very good according to people who had seen it. So looks like they just released the whole trailer. And do we have anything to worry about? I don't think so. I mean, at least for me. Well, I'll just be honest with you. I have not played The Last of Us just yet. So with that being said, we can I mean, for me, it will just be just regular, I guess. But I guess if you look at you know comparable images, I mean, I guess. I mean, so with that being said, they released the trailer, and because they were getting a lot of backlash. What are
Hmm.
your thoughts on them just releasing the trailer because it leaked? Good move or bad move, or well, it's coming out in 5 weeks anyway, so I guess they had to release it sooner or later.
Yeah, no. You know what I mean. So I didn't hear the negative comments about the graphics. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
I've been looking at graphics comparisons on like IGN, and I know Digital Foundry is going to do a comparison and things like that. But from what I've seen, the graphics do look enhanced and they do look great. Like they're like changing things, like or it's like so good. Like you can see like the pupil depth. You can see like just more detail in the characters' animations and their facial animations and things like that. We don't know. I think if they're going to add anything else in terms of like AI and destructible environments and things like that, I would expect them to if they're going to be upgrading this game. But it was, yeah. I mean, this game has been leaked several times. So I mean, we saw this with Last of Us 2, and now we're getting like leaks with this one. I think I think they're just the talk around the industry is really just going to be is this a cat grab? I think has been like the main topic throughout the industry,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be kind of dependent on who you are because they are adding a updated photo mode. They're adding a permadeath mode. They're adding a speedrun mode. They're adding additional unlockables. They're adding a model viewer mode and a whole bunch of even more accessibility features, more akin to Last of Us 2. So for like maybe someone that like does have a disability that was unable to play the game the first time, because it didn't have the accessibility features, I can see them saying like, oh, well, now it's going to have accessibility features that make it easier for me to play. So they're more likely to play it. Maybe those speedrun modes and other modes, are going to be, your cup of tea. They're going to be like what you're into. So I can very
Hmm.
much see someone returning to the game for those reasons. But for your average player, that's like, or just your average person that already purchased this game, I don't see a lot of people double dipping. I don't
You
see
don't see a lot of
people.
replay value in it,
Yeah, I mean,
personally.
it's going to be subjective. It's going to
Mm.
be for every different person. But $70, and still
Yeah, that's a
knowing like this game has new features and bless you, new it has like new features and things of that nature, better graphics and stuff like that. I think that's going to be okay. Like it's great, but for me personally, still knowing all that, it's not a game for me. I'm not going to jump back into The Last of Us with the new features. I think the developers could have better use their time for something else, a new game, because
yeah.
according from the developers, they've been saying like this is the most intensive game that they've done in such a long time, and it's not a cash grab. There's been multiple articles about that, like all the last like couple weeks. So yeah, but curious to hear your thoughts,
I
man.
mean, well, yeah. I think with me, what makes me back away from this is the $70 price tag. That's a lot of money to be dropping on its what third remake or remaster, I guess you could say. I mean, the same game. I mean, I know they are adding more modes, but for $70, I mean, I could understand maybe $50. So maybe like the $20 more might be a cash grab. I know for me, if I ever do decide to play it, I'd probably just wait for a price shop on this one, or just get the Last of Us remastered version for the PS4 and just play it on there if I really
Hmm.
want to play it. I mean that's how I feel about it. So it's hopefully it does well. Like I said, the $70 price tag just is not looking good in my opinion. And the trailer was bound to come out later because it's coming out like early September. So
Yeah.
just be on the lookout for it. I want to say like September 2nd or something like that. So uh, we'll get there. So it's only like a month away. 5 weeks.
Hmm. Yeah,
So.
it's coming up quick.
Mhm.
But I know Sony wanted to hold on to it, but just with the amount of leaks that were happening, like they very much could not have. So, yeah, I'm glad to see that happening. I'm glad to see that like not that there's leaks, but I'm glad to see like they revealed what's actually going to be happening in the game. Because I think that was important to people that were on the edge about buying this game.
All right. Moving on, we're gonna stay with Sony for a bit longer. Looks like they're teaming up with Spin Master on toys and merch for their PlayStation games. So that means their first party games. So what toys would you like to see from Sony with Spin Master jumping in to do toys and merch for them? And any first parties? God of War, Horizon
Yeah.
Forbidden West. Possibilities are endless. They could probably even dip into some of their old IPs if you really think about it. Spider Man, definitely. I would love to see some Spider Man stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it's the possibilities are endless. I think you're going to
I
see
think so.
definitely all their first parties. You're going to
Uncharted.
see God of War. You're going to see. Ooh, well, yeah, I can definitely see Uncharted. I would say Uncharted probably be one of the less likely ones because it's
Mm,
not like as fictiony. It's not, it's very much like real world settings. I think you're more likely to see more of those fictional ones, those more sci-fi settings, those more fantasy settings. So I could see more like God of War. I could see Horizon Zero Dawn. I could see Ratchet and Clank. Just all those big
mm.
first parties. I would see all those games really getting, yeah, so just video game merch from them. And I think that's awesome. I think we need to see more from Sony because if you've been to a Sony store, it's a lot of clothing and like,
Yeah. Clothing
it's a,
and water bottles,
yeah.
like accessories, stuff like that. Yeah, they need some more actual merch. Toys, action figures, stuff like that. Collectibles that you can have behind you when you're doing a podcast. For the most part. And I feel this is like a great venue for them that they're doing that. So, I mean, some could argue that it's them ripping off what Nintendo's doing with those what did Nintendo call those things with
What, the
the
Amiibo?
yeah, Amiibo, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, but
but
they're not doing Amiibo. They're
yeah,
making action figures and toys. So
yeah. So
yeah,
I was just saying some could argue, but but
yeah.
Nintendo's been doing toys for a long time. Why not Sony?
Well, I think Sony, yeah, Sony always, they lease out third parties to do their sculptures and their action figures and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, this is look, if you look at Sony over the last like couple of years, like Sony Studios, going into film, movie, TV. Sony now buying this company that's going to do action figures them, and then going into our next story
Mhm.
about Sony acquiring more. This is Sony becoming more of a brand across all mediums. And this is Sony really cementing themselves in the market, almost like Xbox is doing cloud gaming, and then Xbox has like the Halo TV show and things like that. But this is Sony taking that and going times 10. This is Sony's Marvel universe. So Sony's going to be making toys. They're going to be making action figures. You're going to see Sony household items. I mean, they already do TVs and things like that. But like, just imagine like a God of War TV or something like to that regard. And then like you have your God of War action figures. This is going to be really Sony just increasing their span across the market to really put themselves in front of everyone. Your moms, your grandmas, your kids, and yeah, really just widening their range of yeah, just their brands and how they reach the public. So I think yeah, this is going to be epic. I'll buy some Sony action figures for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am curious to see what Spin Master and Sony put out. So, I mean, that's definitely, let's definitely keep an eye out on what they have or what they do. So,
Mhm.
speaking of Sony acquisitions, they acquire something else. Just
Yeah.
just a season of buying, I guess. PlayStation acquires esports platform Repeat.gg. Now,
Hmm.
I've never heard of this, but I guess they are on the esports scene. And with this, that being said, do you know like what kind type of tournaments they do, or like what type of esports they're in, or is it just like a basic company?
Um, so the company usually, like, the company's big for automatically keeping track of like player game stats, like automatically and stuff and things of that nature. And then they have, you know, they have like different game technology and things like that. They've done like Fortnite is probably their biggest one. So uh, they've done they've done tournaments in Fortnite for PC and mobile and things of that. They've done like over 100,000 tournaments, so they do everything in terms of
Hmm.
like types of things that they've done. But we know Sony's big in the fighting game market. So
Yeah.
Sony actually they're having a fighting game tournament this morning. Like when I woke up like 5 a.m., they had a fighting tournament going on. But we see a lot of see a lot of Guilty Gear. We see a lot of Street Fighter. We see a lot of just fighting games from Sony. And then what was it? What was the other fighting game market that Sony purchased? Gosh,
uh,
it's escaping me right now. But yeah, Sony. This is
I know
Sony
what you're
just
talking
really,
about, but yeah.
this is really Sony just entering the esports, market even more so. So this is going to be absolutely incredible.
Mhm. Yeah, well, it's very incredible to see what they do with that, and they just keep buying. First Bungie, now this. I mean,
Yeah.
what's next?
Well,
Konami? Just kidding, but
that'd be amazing. I'm still crossing my fingers for that one. But Konami is actually like it seems like they're re-entering the game market. They just
yeah,
announced the game
I think
earlier
they've
this
woken
week.
up.
Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah.
their Sony's acquisition of Haven just finalized this week also.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Haven. I forgot.
yeah,
Yeah, we talked about that last week. So yeah, Haven, Bungie,
yep,
yeah, they're just on a tear.
yep.
When and then Xbox, they're doing their thing with Activision, which may close sooner rather than later. And then Nintendo, they purchased a film company and Nintendo Pictures now, so it looks like they're trying to get into the big screen. So
Hmm.
with that being said, um, we move on to some more games. So that's it for the Sony news and the Nintendo news. We'll have some Microsoft Xbox news as we go through the rest of the additional news and announcements that we have. First, we're going to talk about some multiverses. Get ready, July 26th. If you want to get in on the beta, it will be available through the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and of course your Windows PC or Steam. Um, let's see, if you want to throw down a Shaggy versus Batman, there's your opportunity to do so. Some people have gotten an early glimpse of the game already, and they're ranking some of the characters. Um,
Hmm.
let's see, the best
Ooh,
one on this list I'm looking at,
Car-
Tasmanian Devil.
yeah, and Batman.
That and Batman, I think he's the second best. Yeah, second best. Characters to stay away from: Steven Universe and Velma, and Velma from Scooby Doo. I hear she's trash. So of course, some of these characters are going to be more overpowered than others. Like I said, I just wanted an even playing field, and I know. And then, before I ask you your ask my question to you, two characters were announced. LeBron, well, actually three: Rick and Morty and LeBron. But I think Rick and Morty play together,
Yeah, they do.
so it's
Yeah.
So Rick and Morty and LeBron James. So with that being said, you're trying to get into this open beta, right?
So not this one. There's one currently going, and it kind of annoys me. It's a early access open beta. Like, like real talk. Like, is that even necessary? Um, so
No.
I don't. I'm not going to be in that one. That one's currently happening. That one started the 19th and is going to the 26th. And then there's going to be the open beta that's open to essentially like everyone else. So I will be in that open beta playing. So if you want to play together, if you're playing on PlayStation 4 specifically, or if you want to play on Xbox, shoot me your gamer tag. I'll be down to get down. I mean, this looks like it's the closest in terms of like par with Smash Brothers, and I think that's what like makes me most excited about this. I'm excited that Rick and Morty. I don't know if you remember, J-Man, but a while back I said that like it'd be awesome to add Rick and Morty to this game, and then that would take me from here to here, and I can't believe
So
it's
you're up
actually
here.
happening.
So you're up here now with this game. You're pumped for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm that much more pumped because look at I can look at just the way this roster is working. Like we got Arya Stark, we got LeBron James, we got Rick and Morty, we got Batman, Wonder Woman, we got Steven Universe. We're getting characters that have like that are not just from like the same like little tiny universe. It's kind of like they're doing that Smash Brothers thing
Yeah.
where they're taking just a little bit the little bit like of main properties that WB has, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're reaching out to other people. They're reaching out to like, hey, would you like? They're reaching out to like the most popular characters in pop culture, and
Mm-hmm.
they're incorporating them within this game. And I think that's awesome. I think that's important, and I'm stoked for that. I'm kind of disappointed that LeBron James is in it.
Yeah,
He
well,
wasn't. I,
I
I, I, I,
guess.
I really don't care. I really don't care that much. Like he's not my first choice, but I'm happy that they're bringing everyone. The fact that we have Game of Thrones, and then we have
Yeah, Game of
um,
Thrones.
we have Steven Universe, and we have all these multitude of characters. This is what I want. This is what like Smash Brothers was to me,
Mm,
but like within Nintendo, and getting a couple of like other big video game people like
yeah,
within like Final Fantasy and your Metal Gears and all that stuff.
yeah.
But
They
this
really stepped it up with
is
a third party's Smash
yeah,
Brothers. So yeah,
yeah. So far, this is seeming like a good competitor to me. And if they can keep expanding that roster and
mm,
make sure that their online like systems, like their online infrastructure, is well done, I think we're going to be set for a pretty good start. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Move over. There's a new dog in town. Multiverses. And what I do like about this, they said no loot boxes. So that.
No,
So I'm very excited about that. Pretty much the only way to level up your character is to play the game.
good.
Yeah, so I mean, that makes me feel good. As for LeBron being in the game, I guess it's nice to see him in another game besides the NBA 2K games or the NBA Live games.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe they'll put Michael Jordan in it. Who knows?
Oh, see, I would have been happy with that. But LeBron
You-
James, I guess, is
you-
more relevant right now, even though Michael Jordan is on the 2K 2023 cover. So,
oh yeah. We'll be talking about that some episodes to come, but yeah,
yeah.
when closer when NBA 2K23 comes out. All right. So that's enough with multiverses. We will talk some Xbox now. They added some new games for Game Pass. Some looks like some day one games that they just kind of added out of the blue, but some of these are
Yeah.
real good from what it looks like. As Dusk Falls for cloud console and PC. Watch Dogs 2 for cloud console and PC. Moto GP22 for cloud console and PC. Sins of Solar Empire Rebellion for the PC, and Torment Tides of Num- Numenera. I think I got it right. Yeah, those are the games. Those games are available now, so if you want to play them,
Hmm.
jump on the Game Pass. Yeah, enjoy. Inside is for cloud console and PC. That's going to be coming July 29th. As Dusk Falls is a game that I really want to get into. I think it'd be a good game for us to probably do on one of our community streams when we start getting that going.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people have knocked the art style of the game, but for the most part, it
Hmm.
looks really good. Good story, and we could play up to 8 players, and y'all can vote on what the next decision is. So it seems like maybe a little bit on the lines of the query, but just a little easier, I think. But I
Hmm.
mean, I'm looking forward to actually playing that game. Any of these games impress you, F?
Yeah. No. I mean, there's tried to get into MotoGP back in the day.
Hmm.
Watch Dogs has been out forever.
Yeah, that's
I,
awesome,
I
man.
think I think this is a good additional add to Game Pass. In terms of games that like I'll probably be picking up, no, none of these games really speak to me. So
All right, well, fair enough. Yeah, Watch Dogs 2 has been out. It's been out for a while, with the permadeath thing.
yeah.
I don't think they're gonna make a Watch Dogs 3. I think just they I don't know. Just I mean, looks like they were overhyped, and yeah, I guess when they came out, the reception just wasn't as great as they had hoped. But
Yeah,
you never know. It's
Watchdog Legion was like a pretty decent game, and that game like
mm,
really, I don't know. I think that game had like an interesting concept. I think it had like a lot of fun gameplay mechanics. It had some great like online support even after the fact, but just yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's the graphics or what. The marketing, maybe it just really didn't hit it like it needed to when it came out.
all right. So moving on, we go with Ubisoft, and it looks like they've just been having bad luck with delays and cost cutting. So I guess we can go over the game that has been delayed. Well, games that have been delayed. Looks like Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora has been delayed. That won't be
Mm,
launching until sometime March of 2023. Another game that has been delayed on their end is Assassin's Creed Rift.
yeah.
So those are the games with that have been delayed, and looks like they've canceled some games too. I don't know if they're going to come back into production or whatnot, but the
Hmm.
canceled games are going to be, according to this list, it's looking like Splinter Cell VR and Ghost
Good.
Recon Frontline. Yeah, good on
Good.
that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry.
so
Sorry, fans of Ghost Recon and Splinter
Splinter Cell,
Cell.
yeah,
Yeah, because
Splinter
we know that's
Cell,
the Splinter Cell. Yeah.
yes, Splinter Cell, like VR, yeah, it's good they're canceling that game. But
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on Ubisoft and their strand of bad luck that they've been having lately with these cancellations and delays? And then
Like
they
it.
also have
Yeah. Oh, what were you gonna say? They're also having
oh
what?
yeah also with that Skull and Bones game that took forever to develop, and it's coming out this fall, but who knows what that's going to do. So just what are your thoughts? You think this is going to be a good year for Ubisoft or down year for them?
You know what? I mean, Ubisoft has they've had just some struggles like the last couple of years in terms of like game delays. Um, they really doubled down on games as a service, and which is great in some
Mm,
respects because like oh yeah, like they're supporting the game like even afterwards. They didn't do the the like season pass approach. They very much like did like here's like expansive DLC and things of that nature. We see like constant updates for Assassin's Creed. We see constant updates
mm,
for the Division and yeah, just like all their games, Watchdog Legions and things like that. And I think that's great. Some games you just need to like put out like you just need to really focus on the single player gameplay, put out maybe like one DLC afterwards, and then move on to the next thing. I think Ubisoft spends a lot of money, one, just developing across like multiple countries, because I think Ubisoft has like 18 studios, if not more, oftentimes developing like on one game. So I think that leads to a lot of trouble. It's really hard to bring a game together all at once. But man, I think they're restructuring. I think they're starting to look at like everything because what's costing them money. Because I think every delay costs them money, especially since COVID and everything has happened. I'm
mm,
sure it hasn't gotten any better because they were delaying games even before COVID.
yeah.
Um, so I think it's going to be just important for them, yeah, to cancel the games that don't matter and to just kind of look at what's important to them because we even saw like potential buyouts, talk of Ubi earlier this year.
Yeah.
So
I
if
don't think that's
Ubi
happening,
doesn't,
at least not right now. But
yeah, Ubisoft said, yeah, right now it's not. They're not looking to sell their company as it is right now. So I think it's we're going to be if Ubisoft wants to stay independent, wants to stay its own company, then it's important to them to kind of cut the fat and concentrate on maybe like 10 games that are their big money makers.
Yeah,
And
I
maybe
mean,
stop being so experimental, because they have a lot of games that are experimental also, that are struggling, like that
mm,
Prince of Persia remake. Remember that delay? Like, that's
they
been delayed, and we haven't seen that.
they should just cancel that too. I mean, because who knows when that's coming? And then,
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't see Dance on the docket for this fall, so it looks like they've kind of steered away from that a bit. So maybe they
yeah,
are cutting the fat there. And when's the last time a Ghost Recon game did well? I mean, I
yeah,
haven't been a big fan of that series. I played it a few times, but it's
yeah.
not my cup of tea, quite frankly. So
Hmm.
I would like to see Ubisoft do well. I mean, they do got some great intellectual properties that,
They do.
like with Assassin's Creed, just some of the best games I've ever played. They really just need to go with what's making them, money, and to
Yeah.
stick with that formula. Not have so many cancellations. Sounded like they bit more than what they could chew, in terms of what was coming out, and
Well,
it's good for
Ubi's
them.
huge. I
Yeah,
mean, so they definitely. I feel like they can do all these games. It's just like, how many of these games are gonna like make them their money back?
yeah.
How many of these games are gonna be bangers? And I think that's the thing you need to look at. Like, what was it? The Rising Phoenix game.
Oh yeah.
That game, like, that game, I'm sure didn't sell extremely well.
Hmm.
That release, what was that? Was that 2 years ago now? Or was that
I think
last year?
so. Rising
But anyway,
Phoenix.
yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do
Anyway,
well.
yeah, that game didn't do exceptionally well. They did like one DLC for it. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I think they just need to concentrate, like, be a little more focused. And we've seen this from like Capcom. We've seen this from like Square Enix, where those developers have struggled because they kind of spread themselves too thin, or they didn't focus on making games that were high quality. And Ubisoft, they do games that are kind of a medium, like a B tier quality, and I think they need to really focus on just making sure that every game is like an A or S tier going forward.
All right. So I know you said Square Enix, so let's talk about them next. And looks like they are getting into NFTs. NFTs. All right. So I guess this is they looks like they're going with it. Looks like they are announcing their partnership with Engine, ENJIN, with their new NFT project. Looks like um, what are they going to be doing exactly? So they announced their project, and
Anyway, so what they're
looks.
doing is they're
Mm,
releasing some action figures next year. Not action figures, but models. Some Final Fantasy VII models,
mm,
in partnership with Engine, and those Final Fantasy VII models are going to also come out with NFT codes attached with them. So yeah, that's essentially it. Engine is considered to be they're considered to be a in terms of like the environment and everything, they're considered to be one of the more carbon neutral NFT companies, more energy efficient, more carbon efficient, and things like that. So that's what that part. So I think Square Enix was anticipating some some pushback in regards to them doing like NFT and blockchains, and I think that's why they partnered with this company in particular. But in the same respect, Final Fantasy VII is about like the environment and and like and like the destruction of the world. Yeah, and so it's kind of serendipitous that they partner with this NFT company, um, that you know that NFTs are not environmentally friendly and things of that nature. So that being said, what do you think about this, man?
I'm still just a little bit like NFTs really like especially with the whole crypto crash. Like we seen like a lot of some companies like Ubisoft, who we just talked about, for example, say, hey, we're going to start
Hmm.
doing NFTs, and then the crypto crash, they go start running for the hills. So I think a lot of people have started to realize maybe this isn't the future that we thought it was going to be. But
Mhm.
apparently, Square Enix is still jumping into it. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and
I'm not investing into it though. I just try to stay clear away from that stuff. That's just me, at least for now. I mean,
yeah, I didn't grab an image of the figures, but the actual statues themselves are actually pretty nice. One of them is Cloud one of them is Cloud in his female outfit when he's in the whorehouse in Final Fantasy, and he dresses as a woman. And I think that, like, I kind of just want that statue. I don't want it for the NFT, but I think it's awesome that they're like offering at least a physical item along with the NFT. But what they're offering is, I have the actual quote here, and this isn't from Square Enix, but this is from PRNEW Wire, and it says consumers can pre-order the commemorative action figure starting today at Square Enix store. The deluxe physical product will include a code that can be redeemed for a digital version of the figure using Infinity Network, a next generation blockchain for NFTs powered by Engine. Pre-orders for the trading cards will go live later this year. Engine is providing an alternative destination for eco-conscious blockchain developers, investors, and users. Collectibles are supported by Engine's full product suite, which provides environmentally friendly solutions for building decentralized gaming products. Engine is committed to carbon neutral NFTs by 2030 and is building the foundation of Infinity on a most carbon efficient network, Polkadot. And then I'll just end it right there. But so yeah, they're not even completely carbon friendly at this time. So just reading that. But yeah, this is going to be a thing, regardless if we want it or not. It's just how companies go about it, and what they do to make sure that it is environmentally friendly is going to be very important. But I don't want to talk about this too long. This is kind of stupid.
yeah, and yeah, me either. I mean, the only thing I want to say about NFTs, and not just for gaming, but just in general, just do your research if you want to get into it. Know what you're getting into. You don't want to waste like a ton of money on something that you think you own, and then just something goes wrong, crash or whatever, and then it's just like, well, why did I do this? So just know what you're doing, know what you're getting into, and that's really with anything, stock market, all that stuff. That's all the financial advice I have for you. Sticking with NFTs a little bit longer, but this is the opposite end. Minecraft owner bans NFTs, in-game NFTs to discourage it. So bottom line, he's just saying there's no place in the Minecraft world for NFTs. His name, Mojang Studios, name of the studio, and let's see, have a quote here. To ensure that Minecraft players have safe and inclusive experience, blockchain technologies are not permitted to be integrated inside our client and server applications, nor may Minecraft in-game content such as worlds, skins, persona items, or other mods be utilized by blockchain technology to create a scarce digital asset. Thank you. I don't play Minecraft very much, but hey, they're saying that they NFTs are not coming to Minecraft. Players don't need to worry. There's no place for that, in our game. What do I think? I think that's great. Just seeing someone go up against NFTs, and like I said, just as long as you're doing your research, know what you're getting into. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't completely understand NFTs 100%. So, but I mean, based on what I've seen, what I've heard, not it's something that I don't want to see the future come to. F man, any thoughts on what Minecraft developer is doing? Saying NFTs not going to be in the game.
Yeah, we'll see how long they hold that stance. So, like I said, this is going to be a thing regardless if we want it or not. Like it's just the amount of developers, publishers, people, companies that have already embraced it and then kind of flipped the script. I think they're not like saying they're not going to do it all together. I think what we're seeing is maybe a reevaluation of how they enter the market and bring these things to the market. I think that a lot of these companies are just taking more of a wait and see approach, or reevaluating how they can bring it to the market where they're not going to get slammed on the internet and basically people bring out their internet picket signs. But I mean, like Valve has also taken a similar approach against like blockchains and NFTs on Steam. Yeah, so Epic also, also another company that's taken a stance against them. Mojang is another company that's adding to that. But we have other companies like we just read a second ago, Square Enix, that is very much the opposite. They're like, well, we're going to bring it, but we're going to give you a collectible also. Like, you're not purchasing just an NFT, you're purchasing a collectible figure of some of our most popular characters. So yeah, I think to each their own. Like for me, like I would totally buy the Final Fantasy collectible, but
Hmm.
not for the NFT. But if it
Yeah,
comes
just the
with it,
collectibles.
it comes with it. So yeah, it's just kind of a wait and see. Like, I think the company, or I think like just the world in terms of NFTs have just like it rushed out so quickly that no one knows exactly. Like a lot of people don't know exactly what it is, and then there's going to be that other aspect of people that are just like trying to get rich quick, and then
Hmm.
there's going to be like the whole metaverse thing. There's just so much to it.
Yeah, the metaverse, and then
We've talked about it before. Like I said, I think it's ridiculous. I don't want to go into it too much because that's a full
yeah,
episode in itself. We need to get Matt back on the episode to talk
yeah.
about it.
Matt's the NFT
Um,
expert, so he
yeah,
definitely. Matt, if you're
but
listening, if you want to talk NFTs, there's your
yeah,
chance.
I don't think we should roll it out. But at the same time, it's companies are very much it's publicity, and they're just saying like, hey, this is how we feel about it. This is what we're doing. Yeah, yay for us. Yeah, cool
Yeah,
beans.
cool beans. That's right. That's right. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna talk. Go back to games and not NFTs. Yeah, the games. No Man's Sky looks like it's getting an endurance update. Today they let's see. The other day, the 20th, they're releasing. They're calling their new update Endurance. Let's see. They say here in their blog post here, we introduced the ability to own and captain freighters in our very first update, Foundation, and it's something we've been excited to take opportunity to completely reinvent. Captaining a fleet to explore the unknown has always been core to to that fantasy of science fiction, from Battlestar to Starfleet, and a huge fan favorite. Endurance brings a complete overhaul of freighters and fleets, allowing players to live and work abroad their home in the stars together with their own crew. A new bridge brings a range of quality of life improvements with instant access to warping and teleportation. Players can now build vast freighter bases on a scale not seen before, with specially themed areas and new features for growing food and manufacturing, and new technology like the ability to scan and analyze planets from space. A lot of information there, but
Yeah,
bottom line, yes. If you play No Man's Sky, new update, Endurance, it is available on all the platforms, right? All, yeah,
yeah,
and Switch,
it's everywhere. Yeah,
PSVR 2, yeah, Mac OS. Okay, so no one has to wait for it. So it's coming out now. You jumped into No Man's Sky. You excited about this
God,
update, Endurance?
I, I I fucking love No Man's Sky. I really do. God, the amount. This is their 20th update.
Yeah.
Like, that is insane. Like, just think about that. Like, since this game is launched, there's been so many updates. Yeah, hence the game's out for like 6 years, 5 years, I think. But just the reception that this game came out to, and then just to look at where they are now, is absolutely just epic. Yeah. So endurance, in terms of the endurance update, um, I would have to say, yeah, this is awesome. Freighter is already in the game, but just to really detail that out even more and really allow people to command their own freighters, invite your friends to help you man freighters. In addition to scanning planets from a distance and seeing all the material makeup, and the creatures on the planet, rather than having to go down there individually and do it. is big. Yeah, I jumped into No Man's Sky. I'm like 20, 30 hours in. And I just want to like, I kind of want like a free pass. Like I would totally pay for it if they're just like, hey, this will get you, this will upgrade all your equipment to the level where you could enjoy freighters. You can start building your own colony. You can have all these materials. I think would be absolutely awesome because that's the only reason why I don't play more No Man's Sky is because I don't want to go through I don't want to have to play the game for like 50 hours in order to
Hmm.
get to that point. like, like
No, no one
I,
should. No.
yeah, like, Hello Games has just done such a wonderful job, just with this game. And yeah, I'm super excited by No Man's Sky. I absolutely love it. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I think they just need to. They have more updates in the pipeline, but yeah, this is pretty sweet.
All right. So we're gonna talk another game, Dead Cells, the roguelike Metrovania game, Dead Cells, and guess what? The game is not dead yet. Just kidding. But it looks like they do have a roadmap for 2023 from publisher Motion Twin in an update. I have a quote right here. We're taking a little breather from constant alpha beta update announcements to kill off the belief that with the latest DLC, The Queen and the Sea, we are at or near the end of Dead Cell's lifetime. We can see how people ended up thinking this, but reports of our death have been greatly exaggerated. All right, so it looks like they have a roadmap right here on the screen. You can't zoom in into it, huh? It's kind of
No,
hard to
I
read,
wouldn't be able to zoom into it. Yeah.
but looks like they do have a roadmap going to 2023. Looks like 2022. Looks like they have Pan, Shaku, and more. Fall, they're gonna have a boss rush. Oh boy. Winter 2023. It's a surprise, or
Yeah, it says
it's a
new stuff to play with. That's all it
yeah.
says. And then I
And
have
then
a larger image here also. It says 2023, the most exciting year in Dead Cells history. And then that's all that says.
I'm surprised they haven't made a Dead Cells 2 yet. I'm happy that they keep updating this game. I'm glad I suggested it to you because you
This,
beat it. Unlike myself, I couldn't get past like the third boss. That game
yeah,
just gets
but
harder and harder.
I watch speed runs on YouTube, and those people are insane. Like just to beat the game like in
Yeah.
like 10 minutes or less, like without being hit once.
No, that's
Those people,
ridiculous. I
yeah,
don't see how anyone could do this.
those people are insane. Yeah, that's what I aspire to be, but I'll never be that good. But Dead Cells is such a good game. It is such a good game. Yeah, and just the amount of updates I buy every update. Like I just keep on buying them. Like even though like I don't get to play like quite a few of those levels, but the sunken ship DLC with the last place I ended in Dead Cells, so I was playing that, which was a really good time. But this game is so good.
All right. Yeah, as for me with Dead Cells, I mean, I'm thinking of an update or two behind. I do want to beat the game. I really do, but I've beaten a Metroidvania game before. It was called
Yeah.
Metroid Dread,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of myself for beating that game.
Yeah, and this. I mean, it does have Metroidvania elements and
Yeah,
things like that, but this is more like a
yeah,
roguelike.
yeah,
I mean,
roguelike. Yeah,
just like the constant repeat.
yeah,
Like, yes, I beat the game. Like, I haven't beat the game to completion. For those people listening out there, I still have to play the game 1,000 more times in order to do that.
yeah,
But Justin just means I've beaten the game a few
yeah.
times.
He's
So
beaten it. Mm,
I have the boss cells, I believe they're
mm,
called. I have a couple of those. So yeah, still
yeah,
not an expert at the game like many people.
yeah. I mean, roguelites. I mean, I would love to beat a roguelike one of these days. They're just a different animal. So, um, I mean, we hopefully I can be able to beat it one of these days. So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and just I'll keep trying at it. When
That's all you
others,
can do.
yeah, I'll just keep trying.
Keep on trucking at it.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's backlog season, so you never know.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to another game. This was announced over at San Diego Comic Con. Uh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection. It finally has a release date, finally, and we don't have to wait
Hmm.
very long. It's coming out August 28th. It is Konami, all of Konami's old Ninja Turtles games from the past. I'll read them to you.
Woo!
Yeah, I know you're excited about this. I'll read them all to you. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original arcade game, the Turtles in Time original arcade game, the TMNT game on the NES, 2, the arcade game on the NES, 3, the Manhattan Project on the NES, 4, Turtles in Time on the Super NES, the Hyperstone Heist on the Genesis, Fall of the Foot Clan on the Game Boy, Back from the Sewers on the Game Boy, 3, Radical Rescue on the Game Boy, and then all 3 Tournament Fighter games, which were on the NES, SNES, and Genesis. So that's 13 games that I just named, all in one collection. 24 if you include the 11 Japanese releases of these games too. The only 2 that did not have Japanese releases was the original arcade game and the NES version of the Tournament Fighters. Wow,
Nice.
I actually did
Yeah.
that. All right. With that being said, yeah, 13, well, 24 games, $40. It's coming out August 28th. Um, what game are you excited about on this collection?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I think Tournament Fighters is gonna be where where my heart lies.
Mm,
Those games were like the games that I would rent from Blockbuster like over and over again. And yeah, and everyone was a little bit different. Like
yeah,
the they had different characters in them, which like always baffled my mind. So I
yeah.
would always like wanted to rent them all. But yeah, those games are gonna be my absolute like go tos when I pick up this collection.
Yeah, I think I definitely will dip into Tournament Fighters again. Definitely the SNES version is the best one out of all of them. The NES version, I think, is a little hard to play because, well, not only is the NES version of the Tournament Fighters rare, well, if you look on the price tag, I think it's definitely the top 5
Yeah.
NES games in terms of like rarity, most expensive.
Hmm.
But not a lot of fighting games were on the NES, so especially with 2 buttons, kind of hard to coordinate. So, and then but one thing I will say is this: if you played or had all 13 of these games growing up, you were rich. I'm sorry, you were rich. I mean, look, I mean, if you knew someone with an NES, SNES, and Genesis and a Game Boy had all these games, yeah, that kid was rich. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then, um, just a reminder: the online play will include the SNES version of the Tournament Fighters, the Hyperstone Heist, which was on the Genesis, and the 2 original arcade games. I know a lot of people are complaining why isn't Turtles 4 in Time not playable online. They do what
Hmm.
we can. So I will be picking up the PS5 version of this game. So if you guys want to play any online, let me know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then yeah, just
I'll be playing on
and then
PS4. Yep.
yeah, I believe we can. If you have the same ecosystem, you can play in the same
Together.
ecosystem, yeah,
Nice.
together. But so I am excited about that. Unfortunately, you cannot. There is no crossplay. So yeah, just choose your platform wisely, or just get 2 copies, which is what I may end up doing. We'll have to wait and see. But
I don't think that's necessary. I'll have a PS5 eventually.
yeah. So all right. So yeah, that was a little bit of news there. So Turtle fans, hope you guys are excited, especially with Shredder's Revenge. Taking the summer by storm. This is just gonna sweeten the turtles. This is the year of the turtles. What
Yeah.
can I say? Uh,
Kirby and the Turtles.
yeah, Kirby and the turtles. All right. Moving on. Looks like Saints Row gets its final preview. It is also coming out in August. It actually comes out a week before the Cowabunga collection, August 23rd, I want to say. So
Hmm.
um, we saw some good gameplay footage from Comic Con.
Hmm.
Very excited for this one, and just I was a little hurt that the old characters weren't in it at first, but I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, it's a new direction in the series. Looks like the same goofiness is still there.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Just play the game, give it a chance. And I think the story's good too. So I mean, I'm trying not to watch too much gameplay because I don't want like any
Better
surprises
cover
to
your
be.
eyes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want too many surprises to be given away to me before I pick up this game. But I can safely say this is a day one pickup for me. So I saw enough footage. It looks good, looks great. I'm excited for it. If you're a Saints Row fan, I hope you're excited for it. I mean, I think it's gonna do well. Kind of glad it got delayed because if it had came out the month when it was supposed to come out, I think it would have been highly ignored,
Yeah.
because, especially with everything else that was coming out that month. But right now, looks like you can download the Boss app for whatever platform you plan on getting it on, and play around with your boss before you get out there and
You mean
start trucking
the
around.
character? You
Yeah,
mean, is that what they call them? The boss is your character?
yeah, the boss is your character. That's what
Okay.
they call.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, so you can right now you can customize it. Which they announced back over at Summer Game Fest. So
Mm-hmm.
um, so you can play around with that. I already got a few boss designs ready to go. So when I install this on my PS5, it's just home sailing for me. Are you gonna be getting this or looking into this, or what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far with Saints Row?
Um, so far, I mean, it sits somewhere between probably like Saints Row 2 and 3 in terms of what I've seen so far. I think the game looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Saints Row games are like never graphical powerhouses. So just like looking at this game and what they're bringing to the table, I haven't seen any giant like dildo bats yet or anything like that, which is disappointing.
Oh,
Because I was dying when I saw those. Was that Saints Row 3? Was that 4?
yeah, I
3.
think they brought them in three. Yeah,
Yeah.
Saints Row
Okay.
the third. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think this is like Gen Z like Saints Row to me. Like I'm just like
Yeah.
I don't know if everything in terms of like comedy and things of that nature because Saints Row is very much like a satire also.
Mm.
Uh, so just looking at what the game bring and it's over the topness like I don't know. It's a wait and see. I'm looking at the gameplay here. It looks decent. So I'm gonna wait and find out. Maybe you can tell me when you purchase the game since it's a day one for you. Let me know. Let all of us know actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let everyone know. I'll let all our fans know. Everyone in our Discord know. Yeah, I'll let everyone know definitely. So, I mean, I know what I could say about Saints Row. I did not play the first one, unfortunately. I did not have an Xbox, and it never went to any other platforms. But two was the more serious one in terms of just like oh gang takeovers, all that stuff. Three is when it started to get a little wacky, but it still kept like that same seriousness. And then four, getting superpowers. I think that's just when it really all went over the top. So
Yeah.
I understand why they wanted to reboot it. They wanted to bring the game back down to earth a little bit, a little bit. I
Yeah.
think I mean the superpower. It was cool the superpowers, but it was a little. It was a bit over the top. It was a little too much. So I mean, I'm excited for this game.
I mean,
Yeah,
Johnny Gat went to hell too. So
yeah,
don't.
that too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Then I forgot about that one too. Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Gat out
do
of
have,
hell. Oh.
yeah, got out of hell. Yeah, if you do have the PlayStation Premium tier for PlayStation Plus, you can play those games. So definitely give them a try if you haven't, and you can just see how wacky it is. And from what I've seen with the previews, it's not going to be over the top like those games. So
Mhm.
um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to those. All right, moving on. Resident Evil Village. The Mercenaries trailer shows playable Lady Dimitrescu in action. So it looks like I know I probably butchered that, but looks like Resident Evil Village has a new trailer. Let's see, Lady Dimitrescu, Chris Redfield, and Carl Heisenberg are shown as playable characters. Are you rolling up the trailer now, F?
Yeah. I'm bringing it up right now.
All right, so we can check this out. This is another announcement on top of all announcements that we've been getting this week.
Hmm.
What's been your
Yeah.
favorite so
No.
far? Before you pull it
What's
up,
that?
what's been your favorite announcement so far of everything we've been going through so far?
Oh
Just out of
gosh.
curiosity.
Let's see. I kind of have to go down the list. Favorite announcements. Uh, I mean, it would be probably for me in particular. It would probably be somewhere between Dead Cells and No Man's Sky. I think Dead Cells will win out though.
Yeah.
Just that game. It's kind of in the same vein as No Man's Sky. They just keep on releasing update after update that keeps on improving the game. Dead Cells aren't free. No Man's Sky keeps on releasing free updates. And I'm like profusely sweating on camera. It's like 1,000 degrees in my studio right here. And there's like no AC. But yeah, no, I think No Man's Sky is absolutely incredible. Even though they're free updates, those updates are pretty expansive in terms of like them expanding the game, doing base builders, new aliens, freighters, expanding the amount of creatures on planets. Making it the minute that game came out as a single player is now multiplayer. Just all these different things I think is absolutely incredible. But Dead Cells is that roguelike is just more fun to me. I like platforming type of games. I like roguelikes. I like that repeat. I love getting new weapons and the game feeling different every playthrough. And I love that they keep on adding levels and I'm never following necessarily the same path unless I want to through the level. And I think that game is fun. And that game also has a sense of humor, which I really enjoy. It's very subtle humor, but I think that's going to be probably my favorite announcement so far. What about you?
For me, it's a toss-up between Saints Row with the final, demo and all that good stuff, and the Cowabunga collection finally getting a release date.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when a game is announced, but sometimes you're just so antsy for the release date. This game in
Mm-hmm.
particular, they're older games, so I know was it Digital Eclipse is taking care of the emulation with it, so I know they had quite a bit of work to do, but it's like I know Comic Con, like you said, video games are coming back into the space in a great way now with the San Diego Comic Con, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand why they gotta wait to like some of these events to just give us a release date. Like, come on, but
Well, release date's a big thing.
yeah,
We may take it for granted, but I mean, the release date is a big thing. It generates hype and excitement. So
yeah,
you kind of want to release that on a certain cadence to keep
yeah,
people interested. It's another PR and marketing move. It's just like, like it keeps you engaged throughout the time frame of the game, and then when you get that release date,
hmm,
you also get that eagerness to purchase the game because often, pardon me, oftentimes, you'll release a pre-order with that date.
yeah, yeah. I get, yeah, I totally agree. All right, got the trailer ready for
Oh yeah, been ready, buddy.
Resident Evil Village. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so we take a look here. Oh, interesting. Ooh, so all right, great trailer. So Resident Evil Village. Is this the what update are they on with this game? Is this like their first or second update
Um,
or?
Mercenaries. This is the first update
Mm,
to the game, as far as I know.
okay.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first DLC update.
All right. So this is the first DLC update. I don't play too many of the Resident Evil games. What about you? Are you deep into them? Are you a little deeper in them, or yes,
No,
no,
I
maybe?
saw Resident Evil 2 was I
Mm,
mean that one I loved. I think that was a great like revitalization of like just the Resident Evil franchise. When the remake for 4 comes out next year, I will be picking up that one. Or is that later this year? I can't
uh,
entirely remember.
I want
But
to say it's later this year. I could be wrong, but let me
yeah, so when the remake
double check.
for 4 comes out, I will be picking up that one also. I think 2 and 4 are the best Resident Evils to this date. So yeah, I mean, I'm not super diehard Resident Evil. Like I skipped Resident Evil 5 and 6, and I didn't play 7 or Village either, but I played 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, Nemesis. Yeah, so
All right.
I'm decent in terms of Resident Evil. Oh, when's it come out?
All right. So I got a couple dates here. Looks like October 28th is going to be Resident Evil Reverse and Resident Evil Village Winter's expansion, October 28th. So we got some
Mm-hmm.
more Resident Evil to look forward to there. And then I'm not sure if is the new Mercenaries expansion, is that available now, or is that coming out next week or something? No, not next week, but but it should be coming out, pretty soon. We'll get you guys a date of when it is coming out, but they did announce, put out the trailer for it, so that's very good with that. And then one last game that we're going to talk about
It
before we
comes
talk
out
even more
before. Hey,
games.
it comes out October 20th.
October 28th also. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sounds good. All right. Warframe, the Veil Breaker teaser trailer. Looks like that was released. And then looks like also the creators of Warframe are also coming out with a new game. Soulframe is the next game from those guys. So you're big into Warframe. Does this are you getting excited with Warframe and Soulframe and all the different frame of games? I just had to make a rhyme. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not big into Warframe. So let's just get that. What?
Oh, well, no, you were playing. Didn't you play it like a while back?
Yeah,
Though.
yeah. I
Okay, you
played it a
weren't
while
big into
back.
it. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Um,
I take that statement
yeah,
back. I take that.
yeah. No, Warframe is a excellent, excellent. I guess I don't even know what type of like living world type of game where coming with like constant updates and things of that nature. But in terms of this new game, Soulframe, I don't know. I think this actually might be more in my realm of like what I like. Like Warframe is very like super sci-fi. Like you're a dead person in this like machine, this mechanical machine, almost like a cybernetic suit for a dead person. I don't know. Yeah, but and it's like a space odyssey, whereas like Soulframe seems like more fantasy inspired. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be big because I mean Warframe like launched to kind of a tepid like success. Like it came out pretty bad like in its initial launch,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it like expanded and like became great and people have been playing like over the last I don't even know decade or so. So I'm super
Mm.
excited for their new project.
All right. Well, I'm excited too. I mean, definitely. I know there is quite a bit of Warframe guy fans out there, so
Yeah.
it is free to play on just about all consoles: the Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Sure, I'm pretty sure. Um, so I only dipped into it like maybe once or twice. It was a
Yeah.
little weird to me. A
I'm
little
pretty sure I told you to play it back in the day. I was
yeah
like,
yeah.
this game
You
is
told me to play it, so that's why. Because I
mhm.
remember like Warframe. Oh yeah, Finance told me to give this one a try a while back. I mean, I'm not playing it as much as I used to, but I mean,
Or at all.
definitely. Or yeah, yeah, really, yeah. I don't really play it at all, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
just But I mean, from what I played, I mean, it wasn't a bad game. I mean, at least I
Hmm.
don't think so.
No, no, not at all. And it's only gotten better over time. And
Yeah.
then like Soulframe is what we're seeing on screen right now. So for all the audio listeners, yeah, jump onto the YouTube and check out that game. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just they haven't announced a new project forever, you know. So
Mm,
this is kind of big in terms of they make. Let's see, but yeah. So real quickly, Soulframe is an upcoming MMO from Digital Extremes, the developer of Warframe.
mm,
Let's see, announced during TennoCon 2022. The game is currently shrouded in mystery, although a trailer provides fans with their first look at the new fantastical world. And then it just says in stark contrast to Warframe's fast-paced gameplay and sci-fi setting, Soulframe is grounded in and seeks to create a slower, more methodical playstyle. And then from release and launch platforms to gameplay details, available trailers. Here, okay, yeah, and that's pretty much it.
all right.
And it says the game is anticipated to be released. Actually, well, we have no idea, so
All
that's
right. No, no
all.
release date. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they put out the trailer, so with the Comic Con going on the rest of this weekend, we'll probably have more announcements and dates for you come the next episode, episode 98. All
Mhm.
right. And with that being said, we got through most of the announcements. Now we're going to talk about three games for three different platforms. Well, I guess two of them you can play on the PC too. But yeah, three games for three different platforms on the console side. We're going to talk Power Wash Simulator, Stray, and Live Alive. So I guess we can start with a Power Wash Simulator. And this has been taking the internet by storm, it seems like, at least in our Discord. I mean, I've played it, and for the most part, I feel like it's relaxing yet a little bit of pressuring, and I'm not talking in a pressure washing way, just pressure just to get it done, get it clean, and then it's like it's clean, but no, you didn't get up here. You got to make sure you got to get when you're cleaning, you got to get below, above and below. So like if you're cleaning a table, you have to go under the table, and you got your different nozzles when you spray the water, and then you could buy your soaps and all that stuff, and I mean I think it'd be more pressure if you were on a time limit. Thank God you are not. But I mean, for the most part, I'll give it away for you guys a little bit. But yeah, that van you just saw for the audio listeners, we have a trailer. But the van you saw, that's like the first thing you got to clean, which isn't very hard. And then I beat this level, which was the backyard. You got to clean the lawnmower, clean the barbecue pit, the propane tank, the fences. You just go all over the place and just clean everything, and you got to get behind. You jump around, you get your cleaners. All yeah, and you got to make sure you're using the right one too. Otherwise, it won't clean very well. But you just got to read, and then they'll tell you what is good for which. So, for example, if you're spraying like glass, so you just got to put two and two together, and all that good stuff. So, um, I was streaming it for a little while when I was doing some test streaming for our Twitch channel. If you guys would like to see that game streamed or another game streamed, just let us know. Otherwise, I'll just find us where I will just choose a game at random. But this is definitely a game I wouldn't mind streaming at all. What are your thoughts on Power Wash Simulator?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I still have yet to play the game. I'll probably jump on Game Pass maybe for a month and give it a shot.
Mm,
But I think it's just crazy how, like, Matt was telling about this game for almost a year now, and he's playing on PC. I think he was playing on Steam, and how he
mm.
just like in between like all of his big games, like he was playing Power Wash Simulator, and we just all laughed. We're just like, what, like power washing?
We're
Like,
making fun of them.
oh yeah, we're like we're clean. You're sitting there just like cleaning stuff like for a video game. Like that's what you're doing. And he was just like, yeah, man, you guys have to play it. You guys have to play it. You have to play. None of us played. Now you see Mr. Madness in our Discord, just like, oh, I love Power Wash Simulator. I can't put it down. It's like the most relaxing game, and it's so much fun. And we're just like, I like even now, my
Um,
mind's kind of blown. So coming from that like angle, I think it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, no, that like just in terms of like it coming everywhere, I think it's awesome that it came everywhere else and it's not just on PC anymore. And I think
mm,
we're seeing that a lot more often with PC exclusive games. Like I don't know if they're timed exclusives or if I don't know if they're just putting them on PC first just to like test it out and then like making updates and then bringing it to consoles. Whatever that strategy is, I'm enjoying it. I like that cadence, and I'm happy that it's now like on Xbox for people to play. And I hope it comes to PlayStation also. And
yeah.
it's from Future Lab. Like it's Future Lab is such a small company, and it's actually published by Square Enix's Collective. And if people don't know what the Square Enix Collective is, the Square Enix Collective is a program that Square Enix started a couple years back, um, and it is basically an indie. It's an indie collective where they'll publish indie games. For indie games that sign a contract with Square Enix. And then Square Enix handles the marketing, they publish it, and then of course Square Enix gets a portion of the revenue for them publishing the game on other places. So kudos to Square Enix. Congratulations to Future Labs. I think this is pretty epic. Sorry, what
Yeah.
did you have any other thoughts on it?
Yeah, just my thoughts is if you have Game Pass, you got to play this game. That's all I'm saying. You got to play it. It's a great game. Relaxing. It's a different change of pace, but I think you'll like it. I mean, like I said, for me, it's been relaxing yet pressuring at the same time, and I just don't mean that with the with the water pressure. All right, moving on. We got Stray. Now, even if you don't have the Xbox, no, not the Xbox, the PlayStation Plus premium tier, you can still play this game. I bit the bullet. I paid, the $30 for whatever it was on PlayStation Store. It's a good game so far. I'm about an hour or two in. Pretty much you're a cat. You run, you scratch stuff, you do cat-like things. You're trying to get back to your family, like Primus was saying earlier, and I know you have a little bit of gameplay footage, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, I got some early gameplay footage from me playing the game. But yeah, it was it's there's no spoilers in the gameplay or things like that, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I'm still playing the game. I'm having a decent time in it. I'm about 3 hours in, and yeah, I just having a good time. Let's see. But in terms of the gameplay, I'll go ahead and pull that up right now. Was there anything else you had to say about the game before I do?
at this point, not really. I mean, I'm just about an hour in. The numbers have been coming in pretty well for it. Looks like it breaks. Didn't it break like a record? Let me pull up the article real quick. It Player numbers break record with this game, so it's like 50,555. For um, it's its biggest launch for that company, Annapurna Interactive.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it broke a record for that. So a lot of people were really into this game, and I think a lot of people. It was another game I think we were clowning early on, but it's just like once you see the gameplay or just the preview and all that good stuff, it's just like, okay, this is actually a lot better than we thought. Like,
I don't. I was never making fun of the game. You were making fun of the game with who?
I think me and Mark were making fun of it. I could be wrong, but right
Yeah,
now, I mean, it has a meta score of 84,
yeah,
8.9
not
user
bad.
score. So, I mean, you can check out the Metacritic numbers. We'll post those in the show notes.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, yeah, so it's definitely doing real well in terms of
Yeah,
just,
it's doing very well.
yeah, very well. Real
Yeah.
well, very well. I mean, yeah, it's,
Um, I'm sorry. What are you gonna say?
I think that's the part I'm at where, you get your where I'm in that room, and then not to give anything too much away, but I'm at the part where I finally got my vest or whatever that thing is that he has to
Yeah, his
carry
backpack that he
around
has
a
on.
backpack.
Yeah, that's what this is right here. So I just got my backpack,
Mm,
and I'm just walking around doing cat things. Just
yeah,
as you can see, kind of like seeing if the backpack has any features that I should know about right off the bat. But yeah, the game's good, and I think in terms of like PlayStation Premium, and play
mm,
the new PlayStation Plus. This is going to be it. This is why you're going to subscribe or purchase that because of third party games like this.
yeah.
People are like, oh, like you're not bringing God of War, you're not bringing like day one exclusive first party exclusives. No, but you're going to get
They
games
don't need
like
to.
this, and yeah, they don't need to, and you're going to get other third parties. I mean, Xbox is doing very much the same thing. Only Xbox is bringing first party also. So I think in that respect, it's totally worth purchasing. Like if you see a game, of course,
Mm,
like you wait and see. But if you're interested in Stray's $40, I believe,
yeah,
or 39.99. So if you're like
something about
interested in
that.
that
Yeah.
game
Mm,
versus paying for that game, you can go purchase the PlayStation Plus, get all those added benefits, and then play this game, and then play all those other games. In addition to that, like I'm also playing Spider-Man Miles Morales using the PlayStation Plus subscription. Yeah, so in my for me, I think it's worth it so far, and I'm going to keep on enjoying it. And I can't wait to see what PlayStation also adds to that program. But yeah, it, this is Stray. It's I would say in terms of gameplay and the game so far, I think it's okay. Like it's very much I think
the
an
only
oh yeah, what's
what were
up?
you saying? What were you saying? Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
mean
I
to
was
interrupt.
just gonna say like I think it's more of an experience type of game. Like you get to
Mm,
experience being a cat, and I think that's the biggest part of that. Um, yeah, and that's kind of what the game is. You're a cat in a post-apocalyptic world, and you get to kind of walk through the world and experience what this world is like and what it is and things of that nature. And I think it's
Yeah.
okay in that respect. The puzzles aren't too hard. The puzzles
Mm-hmm.
aren't hard at all, actually. And it's just a decent game. And you have B12, the little guy floating above you, your robot,
Yeah.
helping you out throughout your journey. And yeah, I it's about 5 hours, so I'm gonna finish the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. It's not
Um,
very long at all.
yeah,
I know for me, for those of you cat haters out there, never underestimate a cat. I guess it can understand what people are saying. It can understand words. As I mean,
well,
you're going through
it
all sorts
understands
of
the robot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't hate on cats. I mean, not that I'm gonna get one, but I mean, yeah, don't hate on cats. And for me, the only thing I have against the game is you can't jump freely, and you're a cat. So I don't know. I mean, I know you're prompted to jump at some points, but you just can't jump freely.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I kind of got against the game. I mean,
I think that
uh,
was just a gameplay decision, and gameplay mechanic in terms of like if you jumped, I very much feel like you can break the game. Um,
yeah, I suppose. I mean, yeah, but that was the only thing. I'm sure it was discussed when in
no,
development.
totally. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I was a little bit disappointed when I couldn't jump either.
Hmm.
And you hold X in order to jump, or you can press X
Yeah.
when you're prompted to at certain things.
Yeah.
And then when you jump onto something, you can move freely, like you're not stuck in one fixed position. So yeah, no, I totally get that.
Mm.
Jumping feels like a natural thing that should have been included with the game, but the fact that it wasn't, I get it in terms of like why.
Yeah. All right. And the last game we're going to talk about is Live Alive. Not Live a Live or Live Alive. It's Live Alive. So this game is for the Nintendo Switch, and it is a remake from the 1994 game Live Alive, which was on the Super Famicom. It never came stateside, but it looks like a really good game. Seven different stories. After you beat all seven different stories, a eighth one unlocks. It's I've heard mixed reviews on it. It's a little bit of grinding depending upon what story you're doing. Each story is very different, and then the eighth one, I guess they all combine for one big amazing story. I know for me, I did play the demo. I did two of the stories as far as it would let me go, and I mean for the most part, I mean I'm not gonna run out and buy this one right away, but I mean it's something I could definitely see myself picking up later on down the line for like a discount or like a little bit on the cheaper and all that. And so if you like the JRPGs and if you have a Switch, definitely give it a go. It's a very good game. If you're unsure, you could definitely try the demo. Like I said, I did two of the stories in the demo, and uh, that wasn't one of the available stories, like the cowboy one. But yeah, the Wild West one looks very good too. And Imperial Japan is another one, and then they have like a futuristic story also.
Hmm.
It's a weird game, but once you beat all the stories, I think you see how everything ties in. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a little curious to definitely if I do get some time. It's not on my radar right now, but it's something I definitely want to check out later on down the line. I think it's going to do a lot better than people would hope for, especially with all these games. I mean, all these games we're talking about are not AAA releases at all. F, what were your thoughts on this one?
No, I think this is awesome that they this finally first of all that this game finally came to the States, because it
Yeah,
released in what 1994 in Japan,
yeah.
and wasn't playable. So
It
I
didn't
think
do very
that's
well over there either. It didn't.
no, no, I didn't. But I mean,
Yeah,
just the kind of like you play the game, and there's like kind of multiple paths, and it has like three different endings.
yeah.
Reminds me of like Chrono Trigger or like games like you know the Bravely games and things like that. Whew, sorry,
Ooh,
it's hot as hell. Gosh.
oh man,
Or
man.
Undertale. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I think that in terms of like the game and how it's doing right now, I mean, I'm seeing it come out to pretty good reviews. And yeah, I think this is going to be like one of those must buy like RPGs on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that it's like old school
Mm.
turn based RPG style.
Yeah, I think it looks better than Octopath Traveler in terms
Agreed.
of, yeah, in terms of the story. I mean, Octopath, I did like maybe 15 hours into it, and it just got boring after a while. This looks like it's gonna keep you entertained because they're different stories. So very excited about that. I actually might recommend this game to my brother because I know he's in the JRPGs and he really loved Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross back in the day. So if you're listening, brother, I got a game recommendation for you, and you do have a Switch, so I don't want to hear any excuses. So yeah, all three of these games, like I said before, if you're looking for something to play this month and you just want to play something new, regardless of what a console, Xbox, you got the Power Wash Simulator right now available on Game Pass.
Hmm.
PlayStation, you got Stray, Live Alive, you got it's on the Switch. So
Yeah.
definitely three amazing games, not AAA releases.
Hmm.
Definitely give them a try, especially Live Alive, because that you can demo for free, and you don't even need the Switch Online
Yeah.
perks for that. So, all right, any final thoughts on those three games?
No, I'll probably finish up Stray this week,
Hmm.
and yeah, I'll probably jump into Power Wash Simulator for a little bit later on.
And then if you do buy a Switch, you're gonna download Live Alive, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Probably not. No, I got too
All
many other
right.
games to play.
Yeah, yeah, way too many games. All right. So with that being said, no main discussion this week. I guess you can kind of say the gaming spotlight was our main discussion. So we're gonna go through the release rundown, do chat room, and then close the show. I know finance is sweating, so let's get
Yeah,
these.
it's so hot in so
Yeah.
hot in here.
All right. Story of Seasons. Pioneers of Olive Town coming to the PS4 on July 26th. You also got Octopath Traveler, Champion of Continent, coming to the iOS and Android July 27th. July 28th, you got a pair of games, Bear and Breakfast for the PC, and Epic, Lost Epic for the PS5, PS4, and PC. And July 29th, you got a pair of games, Digimon Survive for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. I'm sure you can play on the upper consoles with backwards compatibility. And
Yeah, I think that
then,
game's on Game Pass also. So
okay, yeah, it's on Game Pass. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming to the Switch July 29th. So we know what the big banger is here. We can talk about that after we talk about the rest of these games. I know some of these are on other platforms like Story of Seasons, Bear and Breakfast coming to the PC, Lost Epic. I guess Digimon Survive. I mean, I really wasn't too much into Digimon growing up. I'm just being honest. That should
yeah,
be a good one for any Digimon fans out there. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3, that's the big one, and Nintendo's been
hmm,
pumping this one up big, so I expect that to do big numbers. And this is the big AAA release this month that everyone's been waiting for, Xenoblade
yeah,
Chronicles 3. I hear it makes quality of life improvements from the second game, and just it's your average, you know, JRPG for the most part. Anything you're excited for on this list? I know it's kind of a short list, and
No, I mean
yeah,
there's some hot games on here. I think yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles is going to be the big one, dude. I always forget about Monolith. And just that they're even out there. They're like so quiet in terms of like games
mm,
that they do until like they like announce like a Xenoblade game.
yeah,
But yeah, I just this is going to be big. Like the Xeno franchise has been so big ever since Gears back in the day.
yeah,
Uh, that's the game I really, really want is a Xenogears game. I think pretty much I say that every time I see a Xenoblade game released. But yeah, I think this is cool. This is gonna be super big for the Nintendo. I'm like this is pretty much their game, their major game this year since Breath of the Wild was delayed. Yeah, and then they have Splatoon also, but this is definitely one of their hot games for this season. So for those Xenoblade fans or people that never played Xenoblade before, this is going to be it. And the game that I was actually going to reference earlier, way earlier in the show, when about um, uh, we were talking about Advance Wars, was the Digimon Survive.
Okay.
So yeah, with that coming, I'm pretty sure it's coming to Game Pass. Don't quote me exactly, or you can look that up for me while I'm talking.
Finest, I think your mic went out. Double check.
Yeah, my mic went out.
Okay. Let's see.
Um,
I could check. Gina, I could see if it's going to Game Pass. Let me double check. I didn't see it on the list, but it might be on that list we did earlier this month. So
mhm.
let me check that
Let me
out.
check that out.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm back though. But anyway, yeah, Digimon Survive is the other big one. So just having Digimon in a strategy game, I think is going to be pretty sweet. So just yeah, just digivolving them and kind of seeing them like in the like the new age, I think is going to be really good for Digimon. And I think that gameplay is going to be pretty sweet. Other than that, let's see. I think that's going to be the other ones. I'm kind of curious about Bear and Breakfast. I think that game is pretty self-explanatory. Who's not down for a bear having breakfast?
uh, I'm not. I am. I guess. I mean, as long as
You
it's,
are, or you're not.
I am. I mean, as long as it's Yogi Bear, as long as he doesn't snatch my picnic basket, we're good. No.
You just aged yourself, man. No one knows exactly what you're talking about.
uh, Yogi Bear. Okay. I'm not seeing. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if Digimon Survive will be on Game Pass. I'll keep you guys updated. If you follow us on Twitter, I've been more active on there now, dropping stories and stuff. So definitely check out the Twitter for any news updates on that. All right. Anything else on the games coming out this week, F? I think his mic cut out again. All right, let's start.
No, my mic didn't cut out again. I just muted myself. Gosh, give me a second. No, that's all I have to say. It's been a long episode. We've been here for 2 hours. I'm sweating. I'm sweating my cojones off. Let's
All
go ahead and
right.
wrap it up.
All
Yeah.
right, let's do this. Okay, so got a lot of comments. We're not going to read too many of them today. Autumn says, "Looks like it's hard to stick to a specific genre at conventions nowadays. The cross marketing of so many things has led to tie-ins between games, TV, movies, comics, manga, and video games, and it's all for the better." Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll talk about this on our next episode, but we'll be attending Game One in your home state, Arizona,
Hmm.
later this month. No, early next month. Let's see, ASAP anime. I think that's what it is. Seems like the Switch is always last to get the good games. I think he or she was referring to Stray. Yuri talked about Split Second. Uh, Galaxy Moshpit asked about any DLC coming. Looks like you answered the question with Stranger's Paradise, DLC for Forza, Hot Wheels DLC, and then a couple more. We'll read from Autumn. Let's see. Oh, she talks about LeBron James here and multiverses. I guess feels like he lost the game in Space Jam 2. I guess. Power Simulator is such a dad game if you like shopping at Home Depot on Saturday mornings and rewiring lamps on a Tuesday night. If you have special grilling sandals that you never wear with socks and like perfect patterns and freshly mowed lawn, then this is your game. uh, I guess fair enough. And then she also goes to talk about Stray is amazing. It has great graphics. I do wish you could personalize your kitty character and that there was a little more instruction when it comes to the objectives, but you definitely get the sense of being a cat.
Yeah.
All right, um, so that's it for the comments for chat room. Thank you guys for chiming in. We'll read your comments or emails at the end of every show. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for watching or listening to episode 97 of the Gaming Watch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for another exciting episode, episode 98, getting closer to episode 100. Follow us on all our media platforms, and we will be doing community stream very soon, so be on the lookout for that. For Finest Dabs OVG, I am Justin Reed, Too Tall for You Fool, saying so long. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. See you next time.